in the bathroom. Ready to confess. No, no, it's not. Bathroom confessionals. No, no, it's not. But yo, Hamaza Money, real dope. I was like, yeah, I'm vlogging this stuff, but I'm about to reaction to it real fast. I'll sleep for like an hour. I'm about to go back to sleep though. But you know, I'm really in the bathroom. I just be in here smoking because listen, when I be recording in the bathroom, but he is so fucking right. He got a video about if he had $2,000 saved up, what he'll do, or what you should do if you got $2,000. What should you do? And um, I'll probably put the link in the description, probably. But I shared it on my community post, so y'all can go to the community post and see. But what he said he'll do was, or what you should do is go live with your parents and live off that money for a couple of years. Just that $2,000 for a couple of years. And don't buy nothing extravagant. Don't buy nothing crazy. And just lock yourself in the room and work on your business or whatever you want to do to build it up. That business. Like just lock in. And basically, he's saying the same thing we all be saying. You gotta like lock in, but the way he did it, it's crazy, bro. It's crazy, but also the way he did was beneficial for him in all different types of ways. He became a millionaire in 3 years. You get what I'm saying? Some people will take longer than others, and it depends on how you do it and what you're doing. But when you look at all the people who like blew, they actually had to find the time to work on whatever they was working on. You get what I'm saying? They had to have time to do it. And they had to have the energy for their mental, and they could physically go do stuff. You get what I'm saying? And what he did was the same thing I did to an extent. You gotta cut down your expenses, okay? And what he was talking about was lifestyle inflation, and he was talking about the other side of the coin, which is lifestyle deflation, right? So when your income goes down, your lifestyle goes down. So you ain't got that lifestyle creep. It declines, meaning that the less money you make, the less expenses you have, and the less you can spend on her stuff, right? And basically, what he's saying is that he would take that $2,000 and then move in with his parents and eat their food. Cause you know you their child, they'll feed you. You know, You don't want to be a leech or anything like that, but they'll feed you and just lock in on your business, right? Don't worry about dating or anything like that. That man broke up with his girlfriend and did it. That was crazy. Imagine, either it was kind of toxic, whatever, but he was in love with her, he was attached to her, stuff like that. And when he moved out, they was crying and all this stuff. Like, he went all in, bro. That boy went all in. I cried just a little bit. Roommate don't cry, but I cried just a little bit. Like I felt that in here, in my heart. Everybody heart over here, mine's right here. No, let me stop. Really, your heart like right here. But anyway, yeah, I cried a little bit. That was a tragic story. But that's what it take, man. Y'all don't be understanding, man. Take that, man. It be taking that. Can you imagine years and years and years of doing stuff? See, like with me, it was years and years of doing stuff and not failing. I kind of failed, but I wasn't failing. Like all I had to do was keep going. But then, as in me keep going and stuff, I was learning like, it was a whole bunch of people blocking and stuff, hating and stuff like that. I was relying on certain people that was reliable and stuff. You feel what I'm saying? And I had to like figure this out. And each time I backed up and did it, did it. I found out and unlocked a new level. Like y'all understand? Like so now after I unlock this level, I know how to take somebody from one point and all the way to the top. Cause I started at the top. Yo, y'all don't understand, man. I don't be understanding. You feel what I'm saying? I started off at the top in this career. You feel me? I never started from the bottom and then got up. And I'll start at the top and start working my way back down the pyramid a little bit. You feel me? You know what I'm saying? So I started out as a agency and a studio uh, um and I think this probably part of it. I started out as competition to a lot of these platforms. I started out as a platform. You feel what I'm saying? So not only do I know how to create platforms and stuff like that, I know how to set up studios, do management, create products, do content, all these different levels in it. But the main thing I was saying to you guys was that when you first start out, you want to make sure all your expenses are covered. That's why you have a reserve and start out where you can have all the time in the world to work on your business or work on whatever you're working on. You could actually learn and develop and sell and market and things like that. That's what I've been saying, man. And for him to say what he was saying, it like sparked a flame up under me, man. Cause it made me know that I'm doing the right thing, bro. It makes me understand and know that I'm doing the right thing. I'm not crazy. When you talk to rich people or you hear rich people speaking and stuff about how they did things back in the day and stuff like that, it made me know that I'm on the right path. That if you talk to a regular person, poor people, and I'm not saying that to like insult anybody. I'm just saying it to explain to y'all what going on, cause like poor people, like minimum wage workers, um, teachers. You can have a profession and still be poor, bruh. It, that's what I'm saying. Like it's crazy the way stuff set up. We just being realistic. Y'all always be talking about be realistic. What make you think you do that? Be realistic. You doing what you doing and you poor as hell. You struggling. You talking about you ain't got no way to make it and why not give yourself a fighting chance? Type shit. But we need the professions that's out there. But you guys do that profession, but also learn sales. Do that profession, but also learn business and turn that profession into business. So, like, if I was a teacher, I'll teach and learn how to sell. You get what I'm saying? And learn how to build a product based upon my teaching, what I teach, and sell it to people who need that information. You get what I'm saying? Like that curriculum, classes on how to break it down, make YouTube videos on how to break it down. So that's how you make your money. You get what I'm saying? It turned into business. Like, oh, if you need extra help, buy my product. Stuff like that. You get what I'm saying? I'm just saying. If you want deeper insight on this and you're interested in this topic, here you go. Even like with history, I'll break down each segment, each person and stuff, and take a deep, in-depth dive into it and stuff like that. Like that's basically how I do it. Everybody, I know a lot of professors, well, a lot of people that wanted to be teachers and became teachers, and judges, and politicians, and the mirror. No, let me say, mirrors. No. But that's what we talk about, though. And to actually put it's like crazy. What he was saying was instead of investing, try to learn how to invest first. Instead of doing that, take all your time and energy and put it into your business. Learn your business. Learn how to make your business make money, bro. Which is correct. That's the same thing everybody been telling me. That's like all my mentors and stuff like that, and people I listen to, and rich people and stuff. Because you have to increase your income, but do not increase your expenses at first. When you when you increase your income, the first thing you start doing is increasing your expenses. Don't do that. Keep increasing your income. But you can't increase your income with a job because it comes to a point where you hit a ceiling. You only can make so much a month. And that's the same thing I've been saying. So if you got low expenses and high income, you could soar. You'll be able to increase your income even more. I say, like, you want your expenses to be like 30% of your income. And maybe that's too high. I don't know. But, and when I say that, I'm talking about like, when you making millions, 30% of your income be expenses, probably even less. You get that type of stuff. Not when you first starting out. You want your expenses lower than that. So he's saying that he had 100. dollar expenses way more with his family. Have $500 to the name, so he realized that he could live 5 months off that. He'd be straight for 5 months off that, living with his family. So that gave him runway to do what he had to do. Launch his business, gave him enough time and space to do what he got to do. It gave him the freedom to do what he had to do in order to become rich. What y'all think about that? Comment below. I'm like, yeah. Yeah, that's exactly what we've been talking about. Even like with the streamers and things like that, y'all understand that they doing what they love to do, they doing what they like to do and stuff like that. But behind that is expenses, and they locked in. They able to be locked in all day and just focus on their business. Focus on building that lifestyle that they want to build. You get what I'm saying? Even with like lifestyle vlog content and stuff like that. Yeah, you see them doing stuff and things like that. You see us buying stuff and vlogging and things like that. But truth is, we're locked into our businesses. We create content. We're locked in. You get what I'm saying? So we're able to come with content consistency all the time, things like that. Focusing on what we're doing, things like that. Even with the fashion industry, the fashion content and stuff like that, they locked in. You get what I'm saying? They locked in every day. You gotta have the time to lock in. You feel what I'm saying? The actual time. So yeah. That was motivating. Like you even break up with your girl, bro. Like so you can lock in even more. The problem was that even when he was working a full-time job, he figured he had 3 hours to work on his business. But when you don't work on your business, I mean, when you work all day and then try to come home and work on your business, you be too tired. And then he said, even when he was part-time, he got home, he was still exhausted. Then he tried to work night shift, and then he'd go there and work on the business and stuff like that with the job that he had. But even that was difficult, but it like messed up his mental health and stuff like that, his physical health and all that stuff. His sleep schedule was off, so because he'd be up at night. You get what I'm saying? And then he'd be trying to sleep during daytime, so it just mess him up, his equilibrium and stuff like that. Which is true. You know, everybody makes it differently, but that's a commonality. And getting there is having the time. Having the time to do it. My thing more so was focusing on a business that you want to continue doing and that you're able to continue doing. Like my one business, it was a success. But the thing about that business was that I had to go all over for licenses and certificates for classes and stuff like that. And I didn't have a vehicle nor a regular driver's license at the time either. And it'd be all over the state. So, like, you gotta go to Albany. Oh, you gotta go to Finger Lakes. Oh, you gotta go to this class over here. You gotta go to this class. You gotta go to Syracuse. See, you get what I'm saying? So you gotta check when the classes are, and then you gotta register for the classes. Then you gotta go find your way to the class. Difficult. So I had like let it kind of like go. Now the way I had it set up the first time, it was good. Everything was easy, but then everybody just like kind of like fell out and fell off. So like the system broke. How I was getting to these classes and trainings and stuff like that. And the timing and stuff, it was crazy. And then like even the pay periods and stuff was getting out of hand and stuff. Like it was ridiculous. It was like when people figured out what I was doing, like actually trying to build a big agency, everybody just started tripping. But then even then, nobody made an agency like I was putting on the table. An agency where that's all they do was like deal with that. Everybody had like got like the things where like that's a department. That's not just what they main focus. And because of that, a lot of things be falling by the wayside for people. And they don't get services like they supposed to get. Like if I know your child needs certain services and that's all I'm focusing on and that's all my own agency focuses on is find services for people. That's all they focusing on, so they'll know where certain stuff at. And if they don't know, they got all the time in the day to find something. Like that's literally their job to find that. But then my other business wasn't appropriate for the lifestyle that I live now. But it was successful. That was like me learning how to create a business from basically like scratch, kind of. You know what I'm saying? And not having to put no money in and stuff like that. All I need to do is put in time, work it, grind it, and have it make money. You feel what I'm saying? So it's like an infinite return on money, on capital. And a lot of stuff like blew up off of that. And then my other businesses were like my service businesses, you know. But that take time. And that take me actually doing physical work and stuff like that. You get what I'm saying? So I still do that when I need to get some money on hand and stuff like that. But what I've been locking in on is the businesses that I could create things and put it out there and makes me money over and over and over again and over and over and over again. You get what I'm saying? And that take time and you gotta be focused and locked in and stuff like that. And it's hard. Like when you get to this age, 39, and now you got family, you got responsibility, stuff like that, it's gonna be hard. It's gonna be harder for you. And like for us, the lifestyle creep don't necessarily come from me. It comes from my wife because she's not understanding certain things, and the kids don't understand certain things. So like they don't understand like, oh, we don't need to be buying streaming services. Let's save this money let's lower our expenses, stuff like that. And then my habits, and then they habits. You get what I'm saying? So like eating out all the time, buying streaming services, playing games, just like entertainment, me smoking. You get what I'm saying? So yeah. So it's like I got cut out stuff that's expenses without her increasing expenses. Because when she see a lot of money coming in, she feels like we got enough money to do this. We might as well do this. You get what I'm saying? So like with the TVs, oh the TV broke. Let's just order a new TV. We could rent a TV instead of buying a TV. So now you creating a whole nother bill. Now you upset because we got a bill that we got paid and you don't want to pay it. That type of stuff. Oh, you didn't factor in that this was gonna happen at this time. Oh, you want a new job, another job. Oh, yeah, I'm gonna mess up some other stuff, but shit like that. It's a lot of stuff that plays in to everything. But you're right, bro. Look, I'm getting tired of stuff. I've been talking for 26 minutes. You're right, though. That's the first time I actually heard it said like that. Lifestyle deflation. That's dope. So comment below what you like, man. If you got to this point, you like this video, you like what I'm saying, like it, comment, share, subscribe, please. Alright, I'll holler at y'all later. Peace out, Royal Film.